Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Army, welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to the latest in Arsenal news. Before we get into some housekeeping, I will just say big up to King and big up to James and Bobby. What you saying, King? And James has just joined me in the back, so we're going to put him in now because the first story is mainly all for him. He can just let rip. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. How you doing, James?
Good. Yeah. Apologies. I just got back from work. Long day.
No, don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Right. I will explain why I've put 34 days to go. Now, if James can get it right, I'll be very delighted. What's 34 days away?
Pre-season?
Yes, it's our first game of pre-season. I will be changing this every time we do a stream, so everyone can get excited and they know exactly how long we have to wait until we see Arsenal. And big up to Luke. Luke is in the house, but we have got some housekeeping to do, and it is a big bit of housekeeping. We have got a giveaway. It's to win a signed James frame. I mean, Aaron Ramsdale frame. You can see him smiling in the background now. But no, seriously, it's to win a signed Aaron Ramsdale frame. It is authenticated. All you have to do is simply enter by subscribing to the Armory YouTube channel. If you have already subscribed, you are already entered. The draw will be announced on my match preview for the first Premier League game of next season. Now, that's the good news about the match preview. The bad news about the match preview is I have changed the challenge. The challenge has got harder. So be prepared, whoever has to take on the challenge, because it's tougher now. There is no picking easy players anymore. So let's wait and see what happens with the previews. But James, how are you anyway, mate? You all right?
Yeah, good. I'm in positive mood. I think I know the gist of what's going to put me in a better mood. Coming up, but yeah, I'm good. It's Friday, so I can't complain. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. See, he's that excited about Caitlin Ford signing a new contract. He's just that excited about the news.
Of course. Come on.
And Steph Catley as well.
You know me and my knowledge of the women's Arsenal team. It's top tier, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, let's just get into it because James is here now. This is the only reason he'll probably drop out as soon as we finish this storyline. He'll just go disappear. See you later. That's the only thing I've coming for. Right, so Declan. Arsenal's first bid has gone in for Declan Rice. It is pretty much accepted by West Ham. Now they're just trying to work out the instalments and how it's being paid. I was going to call you Declan then. James, how happy are you about this?
Yeah. Well, I'm over the moon. You know I've been campaigning for Declan Rice since you've joined the Armory TV, and it's been a long time before you joined that I've been campaigning for him. It's been close to 2 and a bit years now. So, I've had to deal with people telling me he's not that great. I've had to deal with people that have told me he's overrated, and all of this for him to just come into fruition and actually sign for my team. Look, I didn't think this was possible. I didn't think this was possible last season. I thought it was a pipe dream. I didn't think we were going to be in the race for him. So the fact of what you're saying is a bid is going in or has gone in, and it's just a small payment structures now in terms of amortization, how long we're going to be paying it off, if it's a fixed contract or if it's 2-3 years, however much it is. Then I'm very happy. I had the feeling of this was going to be the case. That if we're being for real, I didn't really think Bayern were a suitor. I sent a message to you about Bayern at the very beginning of their interest, saying I don't think this is serious, but if they do get him ahead of us, then some questions need to be asked. But it looks like it's going to be a one and done. I could be completely wrong, but I don't expect it to be us to bid, them to reject it, and us to go back again. I think it's going to be us, as you said, coming to terms with everything, submitting the bid, it being accepted, and it to move pretty quickly. If I'm being honest, I don't know if it's going to be submitted and accepted this weekend. I'd love it if it will, but we'll just have to see. But if you're signing a player of his quality, it takes us up another level. It makes us serious contenders. I'm not talking just for the league. I'm talking it puts us in a good position in European as well. So I'm buzzing if we can get it over the line.
Look, the fact is we're playing Malta next Friday, as in England, not Arsenal. England are playing Malta next Friday. Declan wants this sorted out before he goes and joins the camp. So, look, I don't expect any. If it does get agreed, I don't expect any official pictures before we play Malta. I think the deal can be agreed and everything can be signed, dotted. But as for the official pictures, I can't see that happening. I can't see Gareth Southgate letting him just drop out to take some photos and do a video and stuff like that stuff. So that might have to wait until after the internationals, which I think England play their second one on the 19th of June, if I'm right. I can't think who against, to be honest. So I can see this happening within a few days, if I'm honest, because West Ham are keen to get moving on as well, because at the end of the day, they want the money to then replace Declan Rice, and it's not going to be an easy replacement. I think they're already looking at Paulina from Fulham.
Yeah.
And they're obviously going to spend money in other areas, which is
Harvey Barnes and Ward-Prowse, apparently.
Yeah, Harvey Barnes would be a great signing for West Ham. And where was the other one?
Ward-Prowse.
Oh, was it Ward-Prowse as well? Oh,
okay. From Southampton. Yeah,
I thought about Alvarez as well. Is that
he's the CDM from Dortmund, so they're looking at Paulina or Alvarez, and then
so they're kind of spending the money already. But what they don't want is us paying the instalments over the term of his contract, which is absolutely fine. West Ham need to, and they need to spend big to replace Declan. Let's be honest, they can't just go out and buy a 10. They're not Brighton. They're not that wise. And that's no dig at West Ham. It's just Brighton are just extremely clever. So, yeah, I can see this happening within a few days. Look, we all know that Arteta wants all his big signings, like the ones that are really going to feature and really important for next season, to come in early. Then it would be like a couple of others throughout the rest of the window when players have left and stuff like that. So he's definitely our first main big signing. I believe we'll get a right back fairly soonish as well, if I'm honest. We'll talk about the latest one, but there are a couple of other names being mentioned. And I will warn you guys, for the end of the show, if you want to tune out for 30 seconds regarding one player who I was trying to get concrete evidence that it's not happening, I couldn't, that they wouldn't say nothing, which worries me. I have had to put him in there. And if you know, Tony's not happy. I think there's a few people in my WhatsApp group who weren't happy about this link. Unfortunately, there is some truth behind it. So I've had to talk about that later. So if you want to tune out for 30 seconds, that's absolutely fine. But look, Declan Rice, I'm excited. Look, everyone knows I'm half West Ham as well. So it's going to be nice to have a West Ham player.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of people are getting excited about Declan Rice now because of recent performances in this season in England internationals, but I don't. If we sign him, and everything points that we will, and I'm touching words out of context, but that's good luck in England. Yeah. That we're going to be signing a generational midfielder, and I'll say that with the highest of praises. I think Declan Rice can become one of the all-time greats. Yeah. So, just there's cautious optimism, as you said. You're excited, but it's this. We are entering as a club. We are entering territory we've never been in before in terms of how we approach transfers. So if we do get this over the line, I think it's just a statement to football in general that Arsenal are back and that we're back with a bang.
We are back with a bang, exactly. I feel like singing that song then. Whatever it's called, I can't remember what it's called. I know what you're saying about here, Lukey. But Mudryk was a whole different kettle of fish. That was it smelt dodgy. It was dodgy. Chelsea managed to get him. That's all I'm going to say on that. Someone else was involved that shouldn't have been involved in that deal. That person is not involved in this deal now. So I'm absolutely. I think I said to you, James, the other day, 99.9. I'm more 100% now that this will happen. It's just a case of waiting.
Yeah, I'm very confident as well. But we'll just see. It's like you said. I think once how do you call it? Once we get this over the line, I think people's minds will change to the recruitment team.
Yeah, exactly. Luke's saying here, Alvarez, Ajax. I thought he was going to...
Dortmund are in for him, but so are West Ham. It's going to be a 2-horse race to sign him.
See, we're going to be talking about Fresneda at some point, and I know that they're saying that Dortmund are very close, but there's still a lot of talk that we're still close as well. But there is quite a lot of fullbacks being mentioned with us at the moment, and we're going to get into one later. Yeah. Big up to Ed Mayhem. How much have they offered, or what's the story on bidding? There hasn't been any bidding. We've come to a mutual agreement on the price. I believe it is £92 million. That's what I believe.
Thereabouts.
Considering West Ham wanted 120, it's not bad, if I'm honest. Look, is there a player involved? I have no idea as of yet. I know there was talk today about Smith Rowe. Not happening. I will cry. I will cry if that happens.
Yep.
I wouldn't be too bad because if Smith Rowe would be then going to West Ham, so I'll be like, oh, okay, I could still watch Smith Rowe at West Ham, so that's fine. But I don't want Smith Rowe going anywhere. But yeah, well, when we know more, Ed, we'll definitely say more. But at the moment, this is what we know as of now, right now, 92 million. They want half up front and then half over installments, which is absolutely fine. I don't think Arsenal have any issues with that. So look, I expect there to be more talk within the next few days. How much work will be done over the weekend, I don't know, but I expect a few announcements here and there. Moss saying we back when things are dodgy. Count. Yeah, well, yes, but he wasn't the one I was actually on about. I was not on about Todd. Is that why a certain person hasn't said anything on Twitter today? You'll have to message me, Luke, which one you're on about privately, and I'll tell you yes or no. So I'm not 100% sure which one you're on about. But yes, someone has been rather quiet today, I have to be honest. Right, let's move on to the next story. Granit Xhaka does leave once we have, let's just call it a spade a spade. When Rice comes in, Xhaka leaves. It's as simple as that. So obviously, there's a few parties that want this done with quickly. Leverkusen being one, Xhaka being another, Rice wanting one, West Ham wanting it, Arsenal wanting it. So there's a lot of moving parts once the midfielder comes in. I find it rather odd that we're waiting for this to happen, for Xhaka to leave, but it is what it is. I think maybe Arsenal's just covering themselves just in case. We don't want to because Rice is there is no plan B to Declan Rice. You know, Caicedo is a different position, different plan with Caicedo. Declan, as James has said, there is no one like Declan. So if we don't get Declan, we don't really have a plan B because there's no one like him. So maybe who knows what happens, Shaq, if we don't. But I'm pretty sure we'll get him. Do you find it a little bit crazy, James, that we're waiting to let Xhaka go, or do you think of the same as me? We're just covering ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. We all know the deal is done, so I genuinely, at this moment in time, it's not going to have any impact on the club or us as fans that when we let him go. So I mean, if they want to wait till Rice is confirmed, then fair enough. You can do what you want to do. I just don't think it changes anything. He's gone, so it's just a matter of time.
Yeah. Edison to Hammers. Well, this is really interesting because if West Ham all of a sudden announce someone, then obviously it's happening. Especially if it's a midfielder, it's definitely happening. So that can also be a sign. And West Ham are moving. They're moving now. So look, they're prepared as well. So big up to BX Gunnar Savic. Are we on about SMS there? That's possible. I don't. To be honest, I don't see him coming to the UK. Can you? Can you see him coming to the Premier League?
No. Maybe Syria. I just don't know who's gonna in the Prem that really needs that kind of midfielder. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe Chelsea. Chelsea might be a good place for him, or Spurs. But those are the only two, really.
On about Odegaard, I think Odegaard would be a player of the year. It was obvious. Look, we'll get into this. Moss, stop telling my news stories. I've got all my little slides set up perfectly. But yeah, we'll get into that. Right. Sacha Boey to be the first new Arsenal signing. It's very close according to what I've heard. But what I then question is why are we still being linked with fullbacks if that's the case? There are two right backs that two fullbacks. I'll rephrase that. Two fullbacks that we're being linked with today. One left back, one right back. One left back will shock James unless he's managed to read this one. But yeah, I'm not keen on him, if I'm honest. So if someone else, I really don't mind. James, have you seen much about him yet?
I've done a little digging, and the consensus is we don't need him. We have an Englishman that's going to be better than him. That is coming back from loan. So for me, if you're spending 20 million euros on Sacha Boey, for me, just give Brooklyn Norton Cuffy a chance. He's younger and still less underdeveloped than. Sorry, he's not as developed as Sacha Boey, quite clearly, but he's had a good season in the Championship, and I feel like he's got promise. So I'd rather us not sign Boey and promote Norton Cuffy because I feel like Norton Cuffy's going to be a better player.
Yeah, I'm the same with you, to be honest. If Arsenal do get him for 92 minutes, scoop, considering they want 120. Yeah, it is for me. Look, we'll get into his value later because there's a few bits we need to talk about, which will be interesting later. James will be interested in this information later that I've got up, but we'll get into that later. SMS2 good for Spurs. BX Gunner saying hello to Luke, panel, and the chat. Big up to BX. Good evening, gents, and all in the chat. Big up to Brenny. I find it odd that we're not giving the Xhaka deal the okay. Some are putting it out there that the reason we haven't is because we're not confident getting Rice. I think we might just be protecting ourselves this time. Maybe that might be it. Man City want Rice Phillips to West Ham.
No, not happening.
Look,
it's not happening.
There is no talk of it yet. Do City want Rice? Yes, most clubs want Rice. It's whether or not they come in for him. Man City are prioritising a centre-back more than anyone else right now. So we'll wait and see. But right now, we are like that close to signing him. So let's just see what happens. Cannot help it. I wake up and all kinds of news from your side, Ron. Yes, I know what you mean. Fresnel like better than the Boey. Yeah, exactly. Tony's not keen on Boey. I know Fresnel was never happy in Dortmund as a sensible move for him. Look, we need to talk about it because there's still mentions about him, so I have to. He reckons Boy playing at a high level, so that means he's better. No, it doesn't work like that. I'd love to see the Turkish sides play the Championship. I really would, because I think they might shock themselves. Because I think the Championship is a very good level. What do you reckon, James? Do you think the Championship's a good level nowadays?
Yeah, no, it is very good. It's very competitive. It's very competitive because of the Premier League. If there wasn't this much money in the Premier League, I don't think the Championship would be this competitive. It's the most competitive second division in the world.
Yeah,
nothing comes close. So, yeah, I'm more than happy for us to not sign Sacha Boey and for us to stick with Norton Cuffy, because at the end of the day, I feel like we need a right back that is a specialist in something.
Yeah.
So I don't think Sacha Boey's that. But yeah,
what he's a specialist in is very hard tackles, which just concerns me.
well, I mean,
so many people are not keen on him.
I think, well, if Fresneda does go to Dortmund, Arsenal have missed a trick on him because he's a phenomenal right back, and it's only 17 million quid. Yeah. We should just pay and just not ask.
Yeah.
You know,
understand you, mate. Well, we're going to quickly talk about Gundogan. Gundogan currently has not made his decision what he's going to do yet. We have got a 2-year contract on the table for him. It is 100% accurate. Look, Can I see it happening? No. Would I love it? Yes. For 2 years, I'd have it. No, I'd happily have him for 2 years. And if there is rumours that Jorginho might be going to Italy, then fine. Let him go. Sign Gundogan for 2 years. I love Gundogan. Absolutely. Look, I'm a Dortmund fan, so of course I'm going to love him. But I just think he'll bring enough experience to us. James, would you be keen on Gundogan?
Yeah, of course I'd take him. He's an incredible player, but it's one of those that just isn't going to happen, is it? Like, I mean this in the nicest way possible. The reason why Jesus and Zinchenko joined us, because they're a lot younger than Gundogan. I think when you're his age, you either move to the two giants. I know Manchester United fans will probably get annoyed when I say that, but when I say two giants, you know who I'm referring to is Barcelona and Real Madrid, right?
Yeah.
So it's either you stay at City and continue winning, or you go to Barca, in my opinion. And I feel like he's going to go to Barcelona.
Yeah, I think so. But look, it's out there. He is considering our offer. If it happens, then great. I'll definitely be celebrating. So, but yeah, let's wait and see. Look, Moses Caicedo. It's this one's starting to frustrate me now because I just wish it was done one way or the other. Look, offers are in for Caicedo. He's got offers. He's agreed with multiple clubs, not just us. He has agreed with multiple clubs, and the decision is mainly down to him now. Personally, I just wish he'd make his mind up and just choose what he wants to do, so everyone can stop talking about it. I want him because I think he's very versatile. I know a lot of people don't. I know Tony doesn't. Not the greatest fan of him. James, Caicedo, yes, no?
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. Look, the question marks around the price, I understand. But you can't deny the kid's got talent. You just can't. He's one of the most complete midfielders I've seen for a 21-year-old in a while. There's versatility options there. I won't keep chirping up on this because I mention it every time we talk about Caicedo. But who saw him playing at fullback before he started playing fullback? Right.
James,
so there's versatility in this signing, and for me, everyone's thinking that Rice is going to be the left 8 and Caicedo is going to be the DM. I'm very, very confident Rice is going to be the DM, and if we signed Caicedo, he'd be the left centre mid. I think we want to. I was called crazy with this, right? I'm not comparing his ceiling or his skill set at this level to the player I'm going to mention, so please don't shoot me down when I say it. But stylistically, profile-wise, who I liken him to is N'Golo Kante. And you saw how Kante developed at Leicester. He was a DM. Then progressively got more box to box. I think there's so much untapped potential with this kid in the final third. He just hasn't been allowed to show it. He's played box to box for Ecuador in the youth leagues. He's got it. He has the technical abilities there. So I'd be all over this. Fabrizio Romano said that the fee is going to be between 70 and 80 million quid.
Yeah.
So I think it's worth the punt at the end of the day. If you get both Rice and Caicedo, you're sorting your midfield out for the next 5-6 years, maybe a decade if they stay. Rice is a player that I can see staying at Arsenal for 10 years for the rest of his career. Caicedo, yet to be foreseen. He may go to Real Madrid or somewhere like that. But for the next 5 years, you've gotten arguably the best or one of the best midfields in Europe if you get both. So while we're the hot prospect in town, take advantage of it because things can change quickly. You saw how Tottenham were last summer. Arsenal were in the mud. Nobody wanted to come to us, and everyone was eyeing Spurs as the better project and the more exciting destination. In a year's time, currently where we're at, it's the other way around. We don't know what's going to happen in a year's time. I'm confident we're going to be in a similar situation, if not better than we are this summer. But football's unpredictable, so I want us to go out and get both. And I feel like we had the funds to get both, and we should get both. Because if it's a competition between us and Chelsea, and we both bid the same amount of money, and we offer the same contracts, he's gonna pick us. So I just think it's if you want him, get him, and don't mess around.
Yeah, 100%. BX gonna say Odegaard, Gundogan, and Caicedo would bang. I'll add that with Rice. Yes, bang, bang, bang. big bangs. Tony said, "Don't believe the hype guy." This is all we hear in the WhatsApp group. Honestly, that's literally every time. Look, everyone sees football differently, and that's absolutely fine. And I get where Tony's coming from. And I know, look, prices nowadays, I don't agree with it, but it is football. You say you either accept it or you don't, and that's fine. I'm not telling you to accept it. I don't like it, but it is what it is. And 75 million for a 21-year-old that can play multiple positions is worth it, because he can play comfortably at right back. He can play comfortably in like two different positions midfield wise, and have other positions he can play. So let's say that's 25 million per position. It just makes total sense to me. That's how I look at it. Look, that's my brain. My brain's weird. Gundogan would do well for us, experienced and strong mentally. Cannot see it. Nah, I can't see it happening. But it's a talking point. It is news. He's definitely got a contract from us. Look, if he accepts, then I'll be happy as Larry. Gundogan wants to go into Barcelona. Says Arsenal forever. Ecuadorian production line is real, Tony. It is stronger than Kante, said Makalele. Good shout, to be fair. I could play box to box for Ecuador. I was sentiment, no disrespect. Lavia makes more sense. Look, Lavia is going to go somewhere, and I think he's very talented as well. I do like Lavia. Arsenal do need Rice and Caicedo. I 100% agree we need Rice.
I think we need both. I think I'm
100% on both.
We need both in the sense of, you'll see it. The majority of our goals have been conceded in transition because of how much we dominate the ball. You add a Rice and Caicedo to this team, nobody's transitioning on us. They're not getting through. Yeah. So that's why.
Kind of what I said this morning is, like, when Ben White's out of his position, Caicedo will then drop in.
Yeah, well, there's also the option of people don't like the idea of Caicedo, and I don't like the idea of Caicedo being brought in as a right back, starting right back as well. People have been saying no, but having how Pep played Bernardo Silva as a left back, inverting how we do it with Zinchenko, but imagine Zinchenko, but someone that can defend to the highest level. That's what Caicedo can do.
Yeah. 100%. Right, let's move on to the next talking point. Big up to Caitlin Ford. She has signed a new deal at the Arsenal. The Australian international had a great season. Look, I'm going to talk about the ladies for a bit, because honestly, the girls that have stepped up when Mead and Miedemeier have gone out with lengthy injuries. Also Williamson as well. I know she's a centre back, but honestly, big up to all the ladies that have stood up and just gone, we exist as well. They've done brilliantly. So big up to Caitlin Ford. And also Steph Gatley as well. She has also signed a new deal with the Arsenal ladies. Look, I will be speaking to Jonas specifically right now. Jonas, listen to me. Mary Earps, free transfer. Russo, free transfer. Go and sign them. Must do. I cannot see Zinsberger in goal next season. I'm sorry. It cannot happen. No Zinsberger. And Russo is just going to score goals for fun. But yeah, that's my little note to Jonas. So please sign those two ladies. They are for free as well. So please go and get them. Oh, and Batil as well. She's a free right back. From Man United. Let's just rate Man United for their best players. Right, let's move on to the quick new. Look, this hasn't been officially announced, but he has signed it. It just hasn't been officially announced yet. It's a 4-year deal with a 1-year option. Don't know how much it's worth yet. I hope it's not crazy amount. I'm sure it's not, but it could be. It's what it is. Look, I kind of get it. I kind of like it, the idea. Let's give him next season. If he doesn't show any spark, we've then got him to sell. So I don't mind. James?
Yeah, I'm not against it. Look, if we can't get a forward in, then it means we can get Rice and Caicedo because we extended Reece Nelson. Fair enough. He looks like he's gonna. He looks like he's gonna progress very well. I was gonna say explode then, but I don't think he's had that season yet to be like, okay, look, this guy's really gonna take off. There's glimpses, but I don't think there's a downside here. So you said that you don't know the wages. Apparently, what I've read, it's between 50 and 60.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm not
beautiful.
I'm not against
Yeah.
it. I'm not against
Mhm.
it. And yeah, we'll see what he can do. I don't want him playing off the right though. I want him playing off the left. So I don't know what it indicates for Trossard. Maybe moving more central full time or becoming a left centre mid in the future. We'll see.
That bit I do know about. I know that he is just going to be on the left side. He is
Okay.
not to step in for
Good.
Saka because we
Good.
are still after a right wing.
Well, there's I won't say who I'd want to sign because I don't know
No, go on.
the
Say it.
following. Oh, I don't know the following slide. So if there's a story about one of them, then I won't
Oh no,
bring it
say it
up.
because I don't think I've got one.
Okay,
Not
well,
at
so
all.
there's two that I'd look to sign in July. So there's Usman Dembele would be my number one choice. But it looks like they're going to sort out his release clause. Because
Yeah,
for those of you that don't know, in July he has a 50 million euro release
yes,
clause.
he does. Yeah.
Very good value.
Yes.
And then the next one again also has a 50 million euro release clause, is Nico Williams,
Yes.
who I'm
I
very,
saw that link this
very,
morning actually.
very high on. If it was me, like if we're talking who I'd want specifically, it'd be Diaby. If it's not Diaby, then I want Kulusevski, and then if it's not that, then I'd want those two that I mentioned previously. But there's options there, so we'll see. Because I think there's scope for us to get both of these midfielders in and then drop another 100 million. But we'll see.
Yeah, I would definitely 100% have Kulu. No doubt about it. I love Kulu. I don't care he's played for Tottenham. I'm not one of those that cares where they've played. I think Kulusevski is just something special. You know, he was one player that always impressed me at Tottenham last season. So I would love him at Arsenal. It would be a great little. I'm not going to say backup to Saka because I think he could quite easily let Saka have a rest.
He's on the level of, I think, before he had his injuries, everyone was saying he was better than Saka. And for those of you that don't know, he actually did a podcast where he said he was an Arsenal fan. I know that doesn't really hold much weight considering some players are specific fans of teams and then go join their rivals, but we'll see because it doesn't look like they're utilizing this payment option they got for him for 35 million quid. Apparently they want it cheaper.
Yeah, it's
so
seems to be taking a while because it's something that could have been done very simply, just like that, and it seems to be. But yeah, Moss will get into a South American that we've been linked with once again today. Not young this time, actually. He's 25, so we'll get into him today. Right, let's move on to the next slide. Martin, I actually drew this up yesterday and I didn't realise it wasn't announced till today. So I'm glad I didn't have to run this yesterday, but I already wrote this up. Martin Odegaard was voted for the Arsenal Player of the Season by everybody on Arsenal.com. It was Saka second and Martinelli third. Is that right? Pretty sure that's right, isn't it? Yeah. But yeah, well done to Martin Odegaard. Look, he deserves it because the Arsenal fans voted for him. We've got our own awards going on at the moment. I don't know the results until Tuesday, but it possibly isn't going to be Odegaard. Odegaard might not even come the top three at the moment, what I'm reading from the ratings. So, look, big up to Martin. He's had a great season. There's no way I can say he hasn't. My only issue is what I talked about the other day on the stream. And if that improves, then great. And it's not scoring, it's not assists. It's more to do with I want a captain to be more vocal. That's my only issue. I know that's probably me because I'm ex-army. I'm a captain. I kind of know what to be as a captain. Moss was right. Well, that was not a prediction show, Moss. It was not a prediction show. Just so you know, these were your own awards and your own ratings. Look, nearly 200 people have now done these award points. It's been crazy. I've loved every person's opinions. There's been some interesting ones for the unsung person of the year. Really interesting ones, I have to be honest. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting next Tuesday when I announce the results. Right, let's move on to the next one. And this is where we're going to get into some interesting slides. So I'm going to quickly talk about this. Arsenal now with the fourth most valuable squad in the world. All right, so let's just sing that in. because now I'm going to show you how valuable the squad is. There you go. It's £800.9 million. Now, the people that do this did it in euros. So I've sat there and converted everything. So these are the actual values. Now, Man City have got a value of 899.4 million. Now, how much did Chelsea spend in January? Again, was it 600 million?
It's been 600 million since last summer.
Yeah. And their team is worth 873.7 million. So their team, before they spent all that money, was only 250 million, according to this. I just find that funny. But no, all seriousness, Chelsea came second. Bayern are on third with 239.1 million. Arsenal were in fourth, £45 million more valuable than PSG. Unbelievable. Liverpool down in sixth with 752.9 million. Real Madrid in seventh on 737 million. Man United on 739.9 million. Barcelona back all the way on 657 million. And then Tottenham, and I guarantee this will change once Kane leaves, is 582.7 million pounds. And I'll explain why this will change when Kane's in it, because I have actually had the breakdowns in positions, because I think if you know, well, looking at Twitter, Ramsdale is the most valuable goalkeeper in the world. And what did I do? I looked at the top 10. So there's Ramsdale, followed by Donnarumma, then Alisson, then Diogo Costa, followed by Ederson, then Courtois, Kobel, Meret, ter Stegen, and then Oblak back in 10th. So, and I'm gonna. I know I've been going to be asked questions regarding fullbacks and DMs and strikers, because not all Arsenal players are in this, but some will actually surprise you who are in this, including two centre backs for Arsenal. Not just one, two. The most valuable centre back is Militao. Then I don't know how you say his name. Vardiol.
Vardiol.
Now Silva, I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure he's not even 20. Who plays for Benfica, and he's the third most expensive centre back in the world. It's not even 20, I don't think. Diaz is back on fourth. Saliba is fifth. Aruju, or however you say his name, Barcelona. Then Schlotterbeck for Dortmund. Uber Meccano, Bayern Munich, is in eighth. Konate is ninth. And there's Gabriel taking the number 10 slot. How amazing is that? I love this. Are you surprised by any of this?
No, when William Saliba signs his extension, he goes to the top.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah. Well, that's how some of the value is worked out, is the contract lengths as well.
Yeah, no, of course. Saliba goes to the top, and then when Vardiol signs for Man City, he becomes second. That's what's going to happen to that list.
Yeah. I will keep an eye on this list now, because honestly, it was fascinating reading. I really enjoyed reading this. Let's go on to fullbacks. Now, we don't have a fullback, but I did find where our fullbacks are on the list. It's a very extensive list, I have to be honest. Bolde came first, and it was Alfonso, you'll be pleased to hear, Moss, was second. Then Trent Alexander-Arnold was third. Reece James is fourth. Molina is in fifth. Koundé, which surprised me, he was a fullback, if I'm honest, was down in sixth. Cancelo, who we are being linked with again, is in seventh. Hernandez is in eighth. Frimpong is in ninth. And Hakimi is in 10th. Now, I'm going to ask you, James, where do you think... We'll start with Zinchenko first. Where do you think Zinchenko came on the list?
Top 25?
Yeah, he is. He came in 20th.
Yeah.
Now we're going to play a bit with like cards. Was it? No. What's the card thing again? The card game. Higher or lower? Now, do you think Ben is higher or lower than Zinchenko?
Higher.
He is. He's in 16th.
Yeah.
He's in 16th, mate. I find, honestly, this really made me smile as I was reading this and typing it all up. It was very fun. Right, defensive midfielders. Bellingham, unsurprisingly, yes. I've still got Dortmund because officially he's still at Dortmund. is in first, then Pedri, followed by Gavi, then Valverde, then Camavinga, then Rodri, then Fernandez, then Tchouaméni, then Barella. And guess who's in 10th? Declan Rice. His actual market value is 80 million euros, which is about 70 something million pounds. So again, it doesn't surprise me that we'll be paying 92 million for him. Right. You know what I'm going to ask, don't you? Where do you think Xhaka came in on this list?
Not close to any of them.
41st.
Yeah.
Now, do you think Thomas Partey was higher or lower than...
Higher. Is he not worth more than Granit Xhaka?
No, he's not.
Oh, whoever wrote this list needs firing because that is atrocious.
He came 60th.
Mad.
It is mad. Because what I will say is Luke Shaw came above Ben White, by the way, in fullbacks.
Yeah.
Right, let's move on to attacking mids. Unsurprisingly, Saka is there at number 1, followed by Musiala, then Foden, then Havertz, then Odegaard. Moss, you'll be happy to know. Mason Mount follows him. Bruno Fernandes, then Szoboszlai, I can never say his name. Then Xavi Simons, the young PSV midfielder that we're being linked with, but is like going to be dirt cheap if we can actually get him. Bernardo Silva is in 10th. There was actually no attacking other midfielders for Arsenal in this list. So we're going to go on to the final one, which is the forwards. Unsurprisingly, Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe are at the top, then followed by Haaland, then Rodrigo. Martinelli came 5th, Beerpool. My dirty winger came 5th on I was very delighted seeing his name, especially above Rashford. I'm sorry, but it made me smile. Alvarez was between Martinelli and Rashford, then Leao, then Martinez, and then Kane, which is why I've said once Kane leaves Tottenham, their value will go drastically down because that was the only real high player of Tottenham. Now, you know who's missing. So where do you think he came?
Well, Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah. Well, I weren't talking about Eddie. I'm going to spend all day looking for Eddie on that list.
I was going to say, if you're asking me to go for Eddie, I might be a while. I'll join you back on the next stream with that answer. No, for Jesus, I'd say top 20.
Yeah.
What, 16th
18th,
or something?
18th.
Okay, yeah.
Which wasn't too bad, but considering honestly the list for forwards was immense. It would have just made James smile at every single name going on the list. Like, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. every single player. Yes, I want him. Oh yes, him as well. So yes, trust me, the forwards top 20 was just manic. So yeah, look, I just found it fascinating to read some of this because honestly, it was absolutely incredible. If you're going to play higher or lower, you must start by saying it's nice to see United sing a bit. Look, I couldn't remember the game show to be honest, but it felt like that. Maybe we should have to do a game show like that. It would be quite fun. Look, James has got probably no idea what we're on about here.
I know who the guy that he mentioned is. I've heard his name a few times.
You just can't remember the game show.
No.
Nah, don't worry about it. You trust me, you didn't miss much, but it was just something that me and Luke probably remember from our childhood. Right, we're going to talk about friendlies now. This is why we've got the 34 days to go. The first game we'll be playing will be against Nuremberg, and it will be at the I can't see it because it's so blooming small. The Max Morlock Stadium, which is the Adidas headquarters or something, isn't it? I think. Then we'll be going to America to play at the Audi Field Stadium to play LMS All-Stars. And there's already talk that Messi might be lining up against us because he's just signed for Inter Miami. That would just be a joke. Then we'll be playing Man United on the 22nd of July at the MetLife Stadium, also in the US. Followed by Barcelona at the Sophie Stadium. Again, I'm pretty sure that's in the US as well. Followed by the Emirates Cup, which is going to be a one-off game on the 2nd of August against Monaco, my beloved French team, Monaco. So, yes. But we're also playing but this is the Arsenal 11, so it's going to be a mixture of the youngsters and some other little players that will be playing. We'll be playing Bournemouth on the 29th of July. That's important to me because that's a game that's always played. It always makes me smile, and it will be a very good game for me and James maybe to watch if we can, because it will have some other youngsters play, and hopefully Cozy Dewberry gets a chance. Moss saying that Sophie Stadium is Kroenke's. Is it? Oh, okay. So yeah, we're playing at Kroenke Stadium. Right, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, it's now Paper Talk. And I'm sorry, guys, tune out if you really want to. I totally get it. Unfortunately, there's not enough information for me to say this is not possible. I will only write Paper Talk that is possible. I won't just write stuff just for the fun of it. So it's been said that Arsenal really want him. Reports suggest we will make a move for him next after we sign Declan Rice. This was, so I'm just reporting who said this, nothing to do with me. Alex Goldberg, and it was reported by Rosie Tudball of the Football Fancast. Now, Alex Goldberg is an Arsenal journalist, I believe. So yeah, look, I hope this doesn't happen. I do like Havertz, don't get me wrong. I think he's a very good talent. Just not at Arsenal. Just no. Sign for Dortmund. Happily watch you at Dortmund. Absolutely happy. James, Havertz, yes, no?
I haven't watched enough of him to give him an opinion.
Okay.
I'll be honest. From glimpses I've seen of him, looks good. Other glimpses I've seen of him, looks shite. So I don't know where to stand on it, to be honest. He wasn't on my list. So just put it that way. He wasn't on my list.
Yeah, I wish he wasn't on our list, but there we go. It is what it is. Right, we're going to quickly talk about Fresno because, again, this is what I do. This is like literally within the last 48 hours. So this is why Fresno is still there. It hasn't gone away because he hasn't signed for Dortmund. The only thing that I question about Dortmund signing him, and I'll say this again, is yes, Guerrero left, but they signed a left back on a free as well from Mönchengladbach. So this is why I kind of question whether or not Dortmund will go for him.
Well, he plays on the opposite side, so.
Oh, does he? Is he right back? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So who's left Dortmund then for him to go in there? Because
the guy I suggested but got shut down by you and Moss straight away.
Who's that?
Because of a G, Guerrero.
Oh yeah, well he's signed for Munich, now, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, he's signed for Munich. Yeah, Look, 4 years ago, I would have said yes to him, but not anymore. Big up to Bargav. I've just seen you come in. I will go through some of your comments at the end, mate. But we're just going to try and quickly go through some of this. These are the latest ones. Arsenal weighing up potential sweep for Leicester defender Thomas Castagna, who has played 37 games this season for the relegated Leicester City team. And I have to say that because honestly, it's just a joke. I don't want him at all. James,
not a bad player, but again, he's not of the profile or the level I think we should be looking at. The only thing I like about him is he can play both fullback positions.
Yeah. Which again is why I thought there might be some truth.
Maybe I'm short-sighting his quality, but it's not one for me.
He was really good. Didn't he have quite a lengthy injury?
I'm not sure if I'm being honest. Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he had quite a bit of I don't know how long it was, but he was very good at Leicester, and then he had an injury. I'm pretty sure he did, and then he came back and was not the same player at all. I did like him when Leicester signed him, but yeah, it hasn't been the same for quite a while now. So it is what it is. Let's move on to the final one, I believe. Now, this is the one that might shock James. I'm not 100% sure. We have been linked with a 25-year-old Ayrton Lucas that is from Flamengo. This comes from the Calcio Mercato, which is an Italian publication. Now, the reason I'm interested in him, and I like the sound of him, one, age kind of concerns me a little bit. 25, it's kind of iffy. He does score goals for a left back. He's in the Brazilian league. They've played 9. He scored 3 goals and got 1 assist. He's a left back. I like that. I like that a lot. But James, do you know anything about Ayrton Lucas?
Nope.
Okay.
Not a clue. He's I like South American players, and I want Edu to start. I say doing his job. He's doing a good job, but when I say doing his job, look, come on, man! You were the sporting director of Brazil. Pull some of those contacts out that you've got, and sign us some of these wonder kids that are coming through, because there are plenty. You just need to get on it. And the only one he didn't bring in Did he? No, he didn't bring in Martinelli. That was somebody else. He joined before Edu was really in the fold, wasn't it? Or was it Edu that brought Martinelli in?
Pretty sure it was something to do with Edu, wasn't it?
Because it was Francis Cagagao that actually scouted him and got us to sign him.
Yeah.
I
can't remember now. Look, it feels
regardless,
like Martin's been with,
regardless, I have faith in Marquinhos, but come on, there's better out there that we could be grabbing, and yeah.
So you wouldn't be that keen on this guy?
I can't really give an opinion because I haven't really seen him. Again, I don't think we need a left back. I don't think it's someone we need to sign. I think we sell Tierney and we play Tomiyasu or we play Kiwior there as rotation options.
See, I still think it's right back, centre back, 2 midfielders, an attacking midfielder, and possibly a right winger. That's what I think will be the big players.
Because I see us signing 2 midfielders. I see us signing a winger. I see us signing centre back and a fullback, and that's the summer.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm not really. I was a fan of this right centre back / right back profile.
Yeah,
not for me anymore. I want a centre back that can play left centre back and right centre back, and I want a right back that's a unique style, i.e. Fresneda. So
yeah,
I just don't see this. I don't see the room in our team for an attacking midfielder. I don't see it. We have 3 8s. Where does he go? Unless one of them's being sold and it's been made clear Smith Rowe isn't going. Vieira isn't going to go and Odegaard isn't going to go. So where does a creative midfielder go? Because then that means we have, if we sign Rice and Caicedo, we have 6 midfielders.
7
midfielders actually as our options. CDM, Caicedo, Rice, Jorginho. 8, Caicedo, Smith Rowe, Vieira, and Odegaard. That's 7. Where does the creative 8 play? I just don't see it unless one of them is sold, and I don't think there will be.
Yeah, true. See my positive, because I know the Maddison thing is now fading away due to the fact Tottenham and Newcastle now fighting that out. I'm trying to think of the other players that were linked with. Elise, he would be challenging Saka.
Gabri Vega from Celta Vigo.
Yeah, that hasn't really gone any more concrete yet. But he's going to be going somewhere, and currently I don't know anywhere he's going.
I don't want to pay 40 million euros for somebody that I don't rate higher than Smith Rowe, so he's not the one I want. I was keen on Mount for 45 to 50 million quid, but if you're paying 70 million pounds, no thanks.
Okay, so let's say Simmons is the one.
Xavi Simmons, yeah,
because I like him. Where would you want him mainly to play?
On the bench.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Right, we're in the League Cup.
I don't know. I'm not saying his qualities aren't there. I think if you're asking him to be one of your mainstays within the team first year, I don't think that's correct. How old is he? Is he still a teenager?
He's like 20.
Yeah, 19, 20, right? So he's had 1 season for PSV and done very well.
Yeah.
I just don't like the step up. With Gakpo to Liverpool, Gakpo had been doing it for seasons. Yeah. Xavi looks like a promising midfielder. Xavi Simmons, because if you're listening in audio, you'd be like, why is he saying Xavi's a promising midfielder when he's the manager of Barcelona? Hopefully you understand who I'm referring to. But yeah, so I don't know. I think he's a good rotation option. I think he can play multiple positions, which is good. And I like what I see because he's a type of profile that I don't think we have in terms of how he is on the ball and his body dynamics. I think the closest person you'd say who that would be body type wise would be Vieira. Again, Fabio Vieira, if you're listening on audio. So yeah, he's just a different style of midfielder who I like. He's a tricky style to deal with, but I'm not against it just for the right price, but only if he's a rotation option.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, Bargov's got a question for you here. How good is Trossard going to be next year?
Depends what we play him and how often we play. He's been very creative for us, which I like. I don't know where his mainstay position is going to be, and if he even has one, to be honest, because I think long term his position is going to drift inside to become an interior. I think how he is with being out wide, he has the skill set for an overlapping fullback. I really would like to see the dynamic of him and Tierney. It's like when Smith Rowe played on the left, Tierney looked better because Smith Rowe always drifted inside. But if we're playing with a left back of Zinchenko, or if we're playing with a left back of Kivior, and we have no one holding the width, I don't think Trossard is as good. So that's why I say centre forward or left 8. That's where I see him as. But we'll have to see. He was really, really good for Brighton in terms of goal scoring, and he was really good for us, even though it was maybe inflated for the 3 assists. Was it 3 assists in one game or 4 assists in one game he got for us?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's done well, and I like him. I think he's a good combination player. So I'd say very good. I haven't seen him at the higher levels yet. Obviously, he's played for Belgium, and when I say high levels, I mean European. So we'll have to see how he adapts.
Yeah, 100%. Moss saying here he liked Simmons when first saw him play either wing. Yeah, he's so versatile, which is why I like him. And if we can get him for cheap, I think
which is why I'm curious to see if we sign a right winger that is different but can play as like an 8. And when I say this, I'll give you an example of, again, I mentioned Xavi, and when I say Xavi, I'm talking about the manager this time, how he manages Barcelona. He has Gavi playing off the left wing who comes inside, and we have the overlapping fullback and Balde that goes there. So they have a 4 in midfield. I wonder if the links of, like Kudus, for example, he's very good inside. He can play those advanced 8s. I wonder if that's a dynamic we might see of someone off the right coming in as playing as an 8. In that, gives us versatility. Because I'll say it again before we finish, the options that we're looking at and the premise of this transfer window is going to be versatile players at the highest level. So whoever you're thinking we're going to see is going to be versatile. So, well, I'll be interested to see if we can pick up on that, because David Ornstein mentioned at the start of the transfer window. He said Rice, Mount, Kudus, so we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. Must mention that Trossard has had a wee surgery. It's tiny. He'd be back fully for the pre-season, so nothing to worry about that. It's just a tiny surgery. It was carrying injury at the end of the last few games, which is probably why you didn't see the best of him for a bit. But nothing to worry about. So no one needs to worry that he'll definitely be fit for pre-season. James, been a wonderful show once again. Where can people find you, my friend?
Well, you can find me here in future shows, which will be good. We've got a few shows about the academy and potential transfer, how the Armory TV as a whole would like our summer business to go, which will be coming up soon. And you can find me at the same at James Armory TV on Twitter. I'm getting better at that. I actually said Twitter this time. So yeah, thanks. Give myself a pat on the back. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Luke has got a question here. Do you think we might see Saka play more centrally next season and have Jesus on the wing?
Potentially. I think my opinion is Jesus is a winger playing striker.
Yeah.
He's very good right wing. He's good left wing, but I can see it. But if we have a different profile of striker, so I know people aren't liking the Kai Havertz link, but he's a different style of player. He's 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah.
So maybe, Luke, I think it's an option.
Yeah, this is why I have to talk about the links, that there is credible reasons why, and Havertz is credible because it is the profile that we're looking at. So look, the main objective right now is Declan Rice. Then you'll see Arsenal move more progressive in the different areas, players leaving, more players being linked, because Declan Rice is our main priority. So all guns blazing for him right now. Let's hope there are positive news within the next few days. I won't be back until Monday with a stream, which will be joined by Tony in the morning to do the final part of the awards. On the Tuesday, I'll be announcing the actual winners from those awards, the 200 plus probably by then, the votes. So it's going to be an interesting one. Moss, you might want to not tune in for that one because it might not go the way you want it to. James, it's been a pleasure though, as always. And if there is any breaking news over the weekend, one of us will come and do it as quick as we possibly can. So yeah, don't worry. Just make sure you tune in for the to the Armory. Turn on your notifications. And we will be back very soon, guys. But thank you ever so much for tuning in. Take care, everyone, for now. But we'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.